What's going on, guys? Today we are going to be talking about all things Pick Artist and Acrobat. These two abilities are debatably two top 5 abilities in the game right now. If you're not rocking at least, one Acrobat or Pick Artist somewhere on your defense, you're playing the game wrong, because you need these abilities to really animate and catch interceptions. Like, you really need these abilities. So to keep this video organized, we are going to be breaking it down into 3 different parts, and we're also going to be looking at some clips today that you guys sent in. I asked yesterday on Twitter for you guys to send me in some clips. I didn't tell you what the video was going to be. Maybe I should have, but yeah, not every single clip had Pick Artist or Acrobat in it. So if your clip had Acrobat or Pick Artist in it, you are most likely going to be in today's video. So shout out to you guys for helping me out in today's video, because I was searching all over the place for clips. And for some reason, it is really hard to find my interceptions. Like, it is very hard. Maybe they don't happen often, but it was very hard to find some good clips. But anyway, whether you are a beginner or you've been playing this game since Madden 25, hopefully you can learn something and take something from this video. That's all I really hope for. But yeah, before we hop into it, we do have a quick word from our sponsor. Are you sick and tired of gambling your hard-earned money on Madden and 2K packs? Well, look no further than my sponsor, MMOEXP, for the cheapest and the most reliable Madden coins and 2KMT on the market. A link for their website will be right at the top of the description. And do not forget to use code 30 for 5% off. Okay, so here we go. We are here in Madden 22. And if you are a little bit more experienced on this game and you have some knowledge about Madden 22, I would probably just skip to part number 2. This is more for just the beginners. But we're going to be talking about the core differences between Pick Artist and Acrobat. So to get us started, we have Acrobat, the ability that I'm rocking right now on Night Train. I was using Pick Artist for probably like a month and a half. I've been on Acrobat for like a month and a half now. I do kind of find myself switching back and forth. But what Acrobat is just diving slots and interceptions. And yeah, it does exactly what it says it does. It adds animations to your cornerbacks that they simply just don't have if you're not running this ability. And yes, this ability can bail you out a very good amount of the time. So Acrobat 2AP basically just adds glitchy animations to your cornerbacks that might be able to bail you out every once in a while. And for Pick Artist, the description reads, better catching and improved stamina on interception returns for just 1 AP. And to be honest, I really don't care about the whole improved stamina part of this ability. But what I do care about is the better catching. And what better catching means is obviously better catching, but it means, catching the ball through people. Catching the ball every single time if it hits your hands. That's what Pick Artist means. So with Acrobat, there's still a chance that you go up there and you animate for it, but you still drop it. That's always still a possibility, as I hit the back button on accident. But with Pick Artist, if the ball hits your cornerback's hands, basically every single time he's going to come down with it. That's what Pick Artist does. So I like using Pick Artist on my safeties, like my over-the-top guys, because on those 50-50 balls, if the ball hits one of my corners or safeties' hands, with Pick Artist, they are coming down with it. And then also, obviously, I guess the improved stamina is pretty cool for clipping people. But yeah, Pick Artist basically allows you to not drop those interceptions. And if you've been having that problem where, your cornerback probably should have caught it and it just bounces off his hands, Pick Artist will and should cover that up. Okay, so we've gone over the abilities, we've gone over what they do, but now we're going to be going over the pros and cons of each ability and getting us started here with Acrobat. We do have a couple clips. Some of them are mine, some of them are your guys' clips that you guys sent me on Twitter. But here's a prime example of Acrobat working, and I'm going to say this at the end of the video too, but I really like Acrobat in man coverage. I really do. I think I do switch to zone here. Yeah, I do audible in the zone here, and you see Jimmy Graham's playing this deep blue. He's playing a deep blue. And you're about to see this man just go crazy. You're about to see Jimmy Graham just to go wild. I'm going to let him play first. And Jimmy Graham animates. That is Acrobat right there. If I don't have Acrobat, this is simply a touchdown. This is simply a touchdown. This ball right here, he's catching this wheel route every single time. I mean, it does also help that Jimmy Graham's 6'7", so he's able to, he has a wider range where he can animate on a football. And you see right here, he absolutely bails me out. And this is what Acrobat does. If you don't have a guy in the right spot, these animations can bail you out. I mean, only like a vert hook plays this. Like a stock vert hook's gonna play that wheel route. But yeah, a deep blue in the red zone just played that, and it just went crazy. So you're probably thinking to yourself, oh my goodness, that animation was awesome. Why would I not just run that? But what I'm going to tell you is, yeah, you can still drop passes. You can still drop interceptions with Acrobat. I mean, in a perfect world, if you didn't drop anything with Acrobat, we would all just run that. But here's an example of me, my Acrobat lighting up and there just being a drop. This would have won me the game. My Acrobat lights up and I drop it, and I actually do end up losing this game because that would have sealed it. I mean, that would have kept it tied. But you see right here, the ball hits his hands. It hits both of our hands. If I had Acrobat and Pick Artist stacked on top of each other for 3 AP, I win this game. It's simple as that. But you see right here, hits the hands, but it's just a drop. So next up, we have another con of Acrobat. And I really couldn't find a good clip of what I'm talking about here. But sometimes Acrobat will light up. It'll light up, but it actually won't affect the play. And the reason why this is bad, actually, I'll just show you guys the clip right now. But the reason why this is bad is because you see his Acrobat light up does not affect the play. But the reason why this is bad is because, yeah, I'm in the end zone here, so it's not that big of a deal. But say you were on like the 50-yard line and there's still grass behind you. If your cornerback falls or your safety falls and he's like your last line of defense or the only guy around this receiver, and he animates and he's on the ground and he's out of the play, it could potentially mean, 30, 20 yards after the catch. You know what I mean? So this could be bad. I mean, more times than not, you are getting a breakup. But you see right here, I animate, but that doesn't mean, I mean, this ball probably should have been picked off, to be honest with you. It probably should have been picked off. And I also do notice that this does happen a lot more against bigger receivers. The receivers that, might be able to box you out. And Evan Ingram, obviously a bigger receiver. He's like 6'3", I think, or 6'4". And you see he kind of gets boxed out and makes the play around the Acrobat. So that is another con of Acrobat that sometimes can lead to some inconsistencies. Okay, so after 2 cons for Acrobat, we have a pro. And this is just kind of how it plays in man coverage. In man coverage, like I said, it can bail you out. And even in zone, it'll bail you out. It'll get you animations that your opponent might not be expecting. This was actually against me, and I was not expecting him to make a play on this football. But as you guys are about to see, Deion Sanders goes crazy. So you're about to see right here, when I throw this football, look where Deion is compared to my receiver. I have maybe like a step and a half on him. Yes, it is Jason Kelsey, and yes, he's probably much slower than Deion, and yes, he is much slower than Deion, but still, I have a step on him, and you're going to see this animation right here just absolutely go wild. Look at this. Deion animates and makes that interception. Without Acrobat, this may have been a 40-yard gain. I probably have rack after too. However, there was a good possibility that Kelsey actually catches this, Deion dives, and I get out of there fine. You know what I mean? That also could have happened. I've seen this happen plenty of times where the Acrobat lights up, but somehow the receiver, comes out of there with the football. That could also happen. In this scenario, that doesn't happen. He makes the play, but you can just see how ridiculous Acrobat can be sometimes, and it is just disgusting. Like, look at this animation. He just dives and takes it right out of my man's hands. That is crazy. Okay, so that was kind of the good and bad of Acrobat. I do want to do a little, I don't want to call it like an honorable mention, but kind of like a little bonus part of this video where I talk about usering and how all the abilities, Lurker, Pick Artist, and Acrobat affect a user, especially like a middle linebacker, for example. But here's an example of Acrobat working on a user middle linebacker. I have Tyreek Hill. He also does have Pick Artist, obviously, built into his card. But this is an example of Acrobat lighting up. And if I only have, say Lurker, if I only have Pick Artist on Tyreek Hill, he's probably not making this catch. You're about to see right here, I curve back on it and I dive. I mean, yeah, he's a receiver on his main card, but he's still going to animate like a middle linebacker. And normal middle linebackers without Acrobat are not making this play. It's simple as that. It's simple as that. So Acrobat on your user is something that I really do like. I mean, it's not as crazy on like safeties in the box as your user, but especially on linebackers. I mean, actually, Acrobat is probably the best ability to run on your user if you do user a safety. That's probably the best ability to run because, like I said in like the first part, it does add animations that you simply just don't have if you're not running the ability. So Acrobat, in my opinion, is probably best for all users in the game. So speaking of linebackers, I know it's not Pick Artist or Acrobat, but I do want to talk about how to make your linebackers animate. I do want to talk about that really quick. So if you do have to use a linebacker, the ability I would use is Lurker. So do not use Lurker on safeties because safeties animate like they have Lurker regardless. So you don't need Lurker on your safety. If you have a safety in the box, please do not use Lurker, use Acrobat. I'd probably say the best setup for a linebacker to make him a very good user is Acrobat and Lurker, because then you basically turn him into a safety. You're about to see Werner or Warner right here. Just go up and make a play. A play that he's simply not able to make if he does not have Lurker. Without Lurker, this ball is going right by his ear hole and it's going to be caught by Johnson. But with Lurker, you see this animation right here. You see it right here, and I also have an example of a safety making the same animation, but without Lurker. I'll show you right now. Okay, so this clip is sent in from Owen, but yeah, it was definitely shot on some kind of Android, but here we go. He's going to have Cam Chancellor. I think he does have like Acrobat on him because he has a star underneath him, or maybe it's out my way. I don't really know, but he definitely has some kind of ability, but nothing lights up here, so it just kind of shows you how no ability's helping him out here. This is all Cam Chancellor. This is raw Cam Chancellor, and he basically does the same exact animation. No Lurker, nothing's lighting up down here, as you guys can see. And Owen goes up there and makes that play with a safety. So if you have a safety, you do not need Lurker on your user. I would just go with Acrobat on your user. And we have one more example of Lurker lighting up. Like I said, Tyreek Hill's a middle linebacker. So without Lurker, he's not making this play. Without Lurker, Tyreek Hill's coming nowhere near this football, and you're about to see him just go crazy. Tyreek also 5'10", but look at this. Like, that's not happening without... If you don't have Lurker on your middle linebacker right there, that animation is nowhere near his bag. Look at this. Look at how he animates. This is crazy. So that's just that's the power of Lurker, and that's kind of the difference between like Lurker and Acrobat, and I guess Pick Artist too. Okay, so we have talked about Acrobat. We've talked about the good and the bad of that ability. We've talked about even Lurker a little bit, but now we have Pick Artist, and Pick Artist is just stupid. So I'm going to show you guys why. Shout out to Lime. This clip right here shows you why Pick Artist is so good, and I think I have 2 more clips after this to really show off why Pick Artist is just so amazing. So here we go. You're going to see Russell Wilson roll left here, I believe. And look at how he catches this football. This guy right here makes the play. Do you see my mouse? This guy right here makes the play with Pick Artist, and watch this. Look at this. How? How is he about to make this play? Look at this. He catches the ball through him. He catches the ball through his body. Pick Artist literally turns you into glue hands. You have Stickum on your gloves. You're able to warp through people, catch footballs. That's why Pick Artist is so good. I mean, obviously, without Pick Artist, this may have been a drop or it may have been a catch by the receiver, but with Pick Artist, that's his football. That is simply his football, and that is just stupid. And like I said, I still have some more clips showing off just how dumb this ability is. Okay, so here's another clip. It's kind of the same example of how you're able to catch the ball through receivers. So you're going to see a curl right here. You see this curl right here? I have Pick Artist and I also have Acrobat on Dion, I believe, for this gameplay. But Acrobat's not going to light up. This is all Pick Artist right here. So you're going to see the ball thrown right at the curl. You would think that Plexico would have him boxed out. And like I showed you guys in, I believe, that Evan Ingram clip, where Acrobat, you might still be able to animate on this, but there's still a good chance that the receiver boxes you out and kind of interferes with the animation. But with Pick Artist, that ability does not care who's in front of you. You're going to catch this ball. The ball hits him right in the hands. It's a 50-50 ball right here, and Dion's going to snag this thing. Dion's just going to snag it, and obviously the unlimited stamina is nice. I always forget about that. I always forget that that's even a part of the ability. But you see right here, ball's thrown right at Plexico. Sanders just takes it right out of his hands, and that is the ability of Pick Artist. It basically turns you into glue hands. That's basically what it does. One more time. Ball thrown at him. That's my football. Give that to me. Okay, so here is the final example of Pick Artist just being absolutely broken. And when I first watched this clip, I'm not going to lie, I thought it was Acrobat. So I asked him on Twitter, what ability do you have on this cornerback? And all he said was Pick Artist. He said Pick Artist. And look at this play. Look at this play. How? I don't know how this play's made. I don't know. And yeah, it wasn't an Acrobat animation. It wasn't. It wasn't at all. It wasn't like that dive animation like we're kind of accustomed to seeing with Acrobat. That was just like a normal animation that corners get. And you see how you just catch the ball through people. And I'd imagine that, I don't know if he had deep out on that receiver. I obviously have no clue. But just look at how this ball's caught. Pick Artist just turns you, it's like magnet hands almost. I was saying glue hands, but it's more like magnets in your hands. And the football just, you're just attracted to the football. Look at this, man. Through receivers, you're making plays like this. It's ridiculous. And right now, you're probably thinking to yourself, well, why wouldn't I just run Pick Artist? You haven't shown me anything bad with Pick Artist yet. So, yeah, Pick Artist is really good, but I think the biggest con with it is is that you don't get those super glitchy animations that you're able to get from Acrobat. I mean, Acrobat's animation, sometimes my jaw drops at how crazy they are. And I'm sure I've had some crazier Acrobat clips that I just couldn't find for you guys today. But here's an example of, I guess, why you need Pick Artist, but I really couldn't find a good clip of this either, to be honest with you. So here we are. I actually do make this interception, but this is where Pick Artist is needed. So on balls like this, I do catch this, but on balls like this, you're going to want to have Pick Artist because this is just not consistent. I can't tell you how many times a ball's thrown into double coverage and I just drop it. I'm playing good defense and I just drop it. So I like Acrobat more when you get burnt, and obviously you can't decide when you get burnt because you think you're playing good defense. But I think if you like know how to, maybe stop that crosser route or stop that deep post route, I think Pick Artist is better for you because it gets rid of a lot of the fluke in this game, a lot of the, RNG in this game where, yeah, you're going to see me catch this football, but probably 50% of the time this ball's getting dropped. You're going to see, I think, Glenn try to swat it. Yeah, and even the receivers involved. You're going to see a good amount of the time this ball's getting dropped. So with Pick Artist, it's footballs like this that are caught 100% of the time. If I have 2 Pick Artists here, this is 100% my football. 100% where, yeah, I do catch it here. But like I said, the odds are just not in my favor. The odds are just not in my favor of catching this football. So this is why you want Pick Artist. But yeah, I'd say probably the biggest con of Pick Artist is not being able to animate on those balls where you get beat. Like in man coverage, Pick Artist maybe isn't that great because, man coverage doesn't hold hands like it used to. I mean, it's still very good and sometimes it does hold hands. But if you get beat in man coverage, a good amount of the time, Acrobat is going to bail you out with those crazy dive animations. So like I said, each ability has its pros and each ability has its cons. With Acrobat, you are going to have those crazy animations that can bail you out, but you also might animate at the wrong time and maybe it's a drop, stuff like that. So those are the pros and cons of Acrobat. For Pick Artist, the pro is that you're going to catch footballs through people. The con is you're not going to have those glitchy animations that, Acrobat's going to give you. So what you could do is, as you guys heard with the pros and cons, they each cover each other up. The cons of Acrobat is you might drop some passes. So with Pick Artist, you're going to catch everything and you're going to animate. So here's an example of a player with Acrobat and Pick Artist putting in work at the same exact time. And this is what happens when you kind of combine these two abilities because there's no cons. There's really no cons besides, I guess, the whole animation thing with Acrobat, but you're basically covered up because that doesn't happen too often, but it definitely can happen. And with Acrobat, you are going to catch the football through people. I'm sorry, with Pick Artist, you're going to catch the ball through people. So they're also adding that range with Acrobat. It's a scary combo putting these two abilities together. And here's an example. Look at Jimmy Graham, look at Jimmy Graham, look at Jimmy Graham, and are you serious? Are you out of your mind? Pick Artist and Acrobat just go stupid together, man. That's all I really know, but unfortunately you can't run all your corners with Pick Artist and Acrobat. That's why I like Jimmy Graham so much, because Jimmy Graham on his Backyard Ballers card, you can run both the abilities for 2 AP and it basically covers up all the cons of Acrobat and Pick Artist because you have those animations now. You're able to catch everything, even through people. The ball hits your hands, it's yours. I don't care how many people touched Jimmy Graham or affected this play on Jimmy Graham. It's his football. Pick Artist gives you the magnet hands, as we just kind of went over. And there's an example of just both the abilities. Just they just work so well together, man. It's like Kobe and Shaq in their primes. Just an absolutely dynamic duo. And for our third and final part of today's video, we're going to be talking about where these abilities should be on your defense to get the most out of them. And like I just said in the last clip, yeah, in a perfect world, Pick Artist and Acrobat should be on all your DBs. But unfortunately, with pass rush abilities and run stopping abilities, that's not always possible. So yeah, in a perfect world, I would run both abilities because they kind of cover each other up very well. But you can't always do that. So in this part, I'm going to be talking about where your Pick Artist should be and where your Acrobat should be. And yes, I can guarantee you, no matter where you put these abilities on your defense, there's always, I promise you, there's always going to be times where you're like, damn, hey, I wish I had Acrobat on him, or damn, I wish I had Pick Artist in that scenario. That would have been my football. But like I said, you can't always have both abilities on everyone. So we're going to get started with Pick Artist. And Pick Artist, I like Pick Artist the best on my over-the-top people, or people in playing, 30-yard, curls, 30-yard curl flats. I like Pick Artist on those guys where they're going to be in a lot more 50-50 ball scenarios. Most of the time on like your 5-yard flats or your vert hooks, there's not going to be 50-50 balls. On your deep halves or your deep thirds or your quarters, there's going to be 50-50 balls. People are going to try testing you. So I like pick artist on, 30-yard curl flats, 25-yard curl flats, deep halves, and deep thirds. So here's an example of Ronnie Lott playing a deep half, making a play here with pick artist. You're going to see right here. And then once the ball hits his hands, it's his. In this scenario, without pick artist, there's still a pretty good chance that this ball is dropped. That's just how this game works. There's still a good chance that this ball is dropped. You can see my face right here. I'm like, is he really trying this? Does he know I got pick artist out there? But here's an example of pick artist lining up over the top. And that's where I like pick artist, on these guys that are going to be, kind of your last line of defense. And it just leads to less fluke. You know what I mean? It leads to less people getting more possessions. And especially in this game, when someone makes a mistake, you better capitalize because defense is already hard enough. You know what I mean? So you better get that stop. Okay, so Acrobat obviously can be put on everyone. I mean, it doesn't hurt to have those extra animations. But if you are going to put it on your safeties, I think it works the best in like deep loose, for example. I can't tell you how many times, someone tries running like a post route up the middle here, and Ed Reed just reacts and just dives out over the middle and makes the play. So I do like Acrobat for that instance. But I like Acrobat the most in the flats, especially with the way wheel routes are thrown and zig routes are thrown. Acrobat goes crazy on these, and this is not going to be a wheel route or a zig route. I already showed you guys that Jimmy Graham play. I honestly might show you it again, because that's just how good Acrobat is when you kind of are in the flats and in the short yardage scenario. It can lead, especially if you're sending pressure. People got to make quick reads, and they're not thinking about Acrobat, and the next thing you know, you animate, and it's your football. But here's an example of just Acrobat playing in the flats, and this animation right here has probably got me so many interceptions. You see right here, I mean, obviously it's an overthrow, but look at this animation you're able to get into the flats. It just makes, Acrobat is just so good for that reason, because of this animation where the ball's thrown and then you just dive. Especially I'm sending heat here, or this might have been like something. Oh, it was an RPO, so he was expecting, I guess, me to send pressure on the 7-yard line. I think I actually dropped out, but he was expecting a quick throw, and then he can't think, and then Acrobat makes the play, and I wake up in the end zone, just like that. And here's this Jimmy Graham clip one more time. You're really able to see how, I know he's in a deep blue technically here, but he's kind of playing like he would be in like an invert hook, or maybe like a hard flat. He's kind of playing in like that scenario. So you're gonna see him animate towards the line of scrimmage, and this is just another example of why Acrobat is so good to have close to the line of scrimmage. I mean, look at this play he makes. Just having it close to the line, makes a quick read, and then Acrobat just goes crazy. And obviously on bigger players, this is gonna be a little bit more broken. Okay, so in zone, you can use both Acrobat and pick artist, but in my opinion, if you're playing man coverage and you're running a lot of man schemes a lot of the time, I think you should have Acrobat on your corners. I don't care if they're going to be over the top a lot. I don't care. In man coverage, Acrobat can bail you out so much, and you're about to see an example of me getting bailed out here. I get bailed out here like you wouldn't believe because of man coverage and Acrobat. Look at this right here. You're going to see Waller run this drag route. Calvin Johnson right here is about to make this play. He was my user for a little bit, and so he only had Acrobat. I think I was running Acrobat on him and Isaiah Simmons, but look at Calvin Johnson in man coverage. And Calvin Johnson, by the way, doesn't have the best man coverage, so he's going to get cooked. Look at how he makes this play. He somehow gets his interception. And this is really going to work out well when people make late reads and the ball's too close to the sideline. In this scenario, I get an angle somehow on this football. This is what Acrobat can do in man coverage. I somehow get an angle. He sees it late, throws it, and look at Acrobat. Look at my face. I honestly can't even believe it. Here's an example of a bigger player with Acrobat just going crazy. But look at this. Oh, that is ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous how Acrobat plays in man coverage. So at the end of the day, I think if you are playing man, all your man dudes should have Acrobat. And obviously, I think one step would be the move, but it's kind of expensive. So Acrobat's kind of like one step, but it'll bail you out if you get burnt. Look at this. Oh my. He thinks he's about to have an easy first down, but nope, that's Calvin's football somehow. The ball's thrown maybe 7 yards in front of him. Maybe not that far. I mean, maybe. How? How do I get this angle? How? It makes no sense. That's how good this ability Acrobat is. Alright guys, so that is going to do it for today's video. Pick artist versus Acrobat. And hopefully you're able to take something from today's video. Whether it's just a little something or you learned a lot about, these two abilities today. Hopefully you're able to take something from today's video. And if it was a little bit confusing on how I formatted it, I do apologize. I'm not really used to making videos like this, but hey, I'm trying to get better. I'm trying to get better at doing stuff like this. So If it was a little bit confusing, I guess drop a comment down below if you have any questions. I do read every single comment, especially on videos like these. So you drop a comment down below if you have any questions about these two abilities. And yeah, if you are new here, hit that subscribe button and turn on those notifications. And as always, I will see you boys in the next one.